Lesson 76. Need. What would you do if you needed a haircut?
If I needed a haircut, I'd go to a hairdresser's.
What do you think you need more than anything else in your life?
I think I need my family more than anything else in my life.
What do you think your country needs more than anything else?
I think my country needs jobs more than anything else.
Towards. Destination. What does the word towards mean?
The word towards means in the direction of.
What am I doing?
You're walking towards the door.
If I tell you that I am driving towards Scotland, does that necessarily mean that Scotland is my destination?
No, if you tell me that you are driving towards Scotland, that doesn't necessarily mean that Scotland is your destination.
Tray. What do we use a tray for?
We use a tray for carrying plates and cups from one room to another.
Stadium. Where is the nearest sports stadium?
The nearest sports stadium is in Wembley.
About how many people does it hold?
It holds about 85,000 people.
Much better. Much more. Why do you speak English much better now than you did 6 months ago?
I speak English much better now than I did 6 months ago because I've had much more practice.
Why is a Rolls-Royce much more expensive than an ordinary car?
A Rolls-Royce is much more expensive than an ordinary car because it takes longer to make than an ordinary car.
Contrary. Fall. Temperature. Atmosphere. What's another word for opposite?
Another word for opposite is contrary.
What's the contrary of the verb to rise?
To fall is the contrary of the verb to rise.
Is the temperature of the atmosphere falling this month?
No, the temperature of the atmosphere isn't falling this month, it's rising.
If your body temperature falls a lot, what should you do?
If my body temperature falls a lot, I should go to bed and call a doctor.
Tooth. Teeth. Toothbrush. Dentist. What's the plural of tooth?
The plural of tooth is teeth.
What do we clean our teeth with?
We clean our teeth with a toothbrush.
If you have a problem with your teeth, who should you go to see?
If I have a problem with my teeth, I should go to see a dentist.
Seem. Does it seem to you as if it'll rain later?
Yes, it seems to me as if it'll rain later.
Why do some people seem younger than they really are?
Some people seem younger than they really are because of the way they look, the way they talk, the things they do, etc.
Does it seem warmer to you today than it was yesterday?
Yes, it seems warmer to me today than it was yesterday.
Several. Are you ill several times during the year?
Yes, I'm ill several times during the year.
Do some very rich people have houses in several different countries?
Yes, some very rich people have houses in several different countries.
Compose. Be composed of. Did Mozart compose a lot of music?
Yes, Mozart composed a lot of music.
Do you find it difficult to compose formal letters?
No, I don't find it difficult to compose formal letters. I find it easy.
How many letters is the English alphabet composed of?
The English alphabet is composed of 26 letters.
Is Europe composed of several different countries?
Yes, Europe's composed of several different countries.
Wise. Wisdom. Do you agree that it's wise to put some money in the bank each month for later on in life?
Yes, I agree that it's wise to put some money in the bank each month for later on in life.
Do you think wisdom comes more with age or experience?
I think wisdom comes more with experience.
Suddenly. If I suddenly threw my pen at you, would you be able to catch it?
No, if you suddenly threw your pen at me, I wouldn't be able to catch it.
Pain. What's the greatest physical pain you've ever suffered?
The greatest physical pain I've ever suffered was when I broke my leg.
Certain. Is there anything in life that we can be completely certain of?
Yes, there's something in life that we can be completely certain of. Death.
Pass by. From where you're sitting, can you see people passing by the window?
No, from where I'm sitting, I can't see people passing by the window.
Park. Car park. When a car park is full, where does a driver have to park his car?
When a car park is full, a driver has to park his car in the street.
Picture.
Lesson 77. Third conditional. First conditional. If plus present plus will do equals real possibility. If I go to the park tomorrow, I will play football. Second conditional. If plus past plus would do equals only imagining. If I went to the park tomorrow, I would play football. When do we use the first conditional?
We use the first conditional to communicate that we think something is a real possibility in the future.
What is its construction?
Its construction is if plus present plus will do.
Give me an example, please.
If he sees his friend this evening, he will say hello.
When do we use the second conditional?
We use the second conditional to communicate that we are only imagining something.
What is its construction?
Its construction is if plus past plus would do.
Give me an example, please.
If she went to the North Pole next week, she would feel very cold.
Third conditional. If plus past perfect plus would have done equals imagining in the past. If I had gone to the park yesterday, I would have played football. When do we use the third conditional?
We use the third conditional when we are imagining something in the past that did not really happen.
What is its construction?
Its construction is if plus past perfect plus would have done.
Give me an example, please.
If she had studied harder, she would have succeeded in the exam last month.
In the third conditional, what do we put after the word would?
In the third conditional, we put the word have and the past participle after the word would.
Give me some examples, please.
He would have slept. She would have written. They would have eaten.
If you had been born in England, which language would you have spoken as a child?
If I had been born in England, I would have spoken English as a child.
Were you, in fact, born in England?
No, I wasn't in fact born in England. I was born in Japan.
Did you find £100 on the street yesterday?
No, I didn't find £100 on the street yesterday.
But if you had found £100 on the street yesterday, what would you have done with it?
If I had found £100 on the street yesterday, I would have taken it to the police station.
If you had not decided to study English, which language would you have studied instead?
If I had not decided to study English, I would have studied French instead.
If you had not come to school last week, what would you have done instead?
If I had not come to school last week, I would have gone on holiday, stayed at home, etc.
Diary. What do people use diaries for?
People use diaries to help them remember things that they have done or things that they need to do.
Character. What kind of character do you like to see in a person?
I like to see a friendly character in a person.
Really? Have you ever got up really early?
Yes, I've sometimes got up really early.
For what reason?
To go to work.
If you were driving a car on a long journey and suddenly felt really tired, what would you do?
If I were driving a car on a long journey and suddenly felt really tired, I'd stop the car, buy a cup of coffee, and wait until I felt more awake.
Ran. What's the past of run?
The past of run is ran.
If you ran against him or me, etc., who do you think could win?
If I ran against him, I think I would win.
Improve. Coach. How can we improve our English?
We can improve our English by practicing a lot, reading a lot, etc.
Why do even the best tennis players need a coach?
Even the best tennis players need a coach to help them to improve their game.
Is it cheaper to travel by coach or by train in your country?
It's cheaper to travel by coach in my country.
Adverbs formed from adjectives. Tell me one very common way of forming adverbs from adjectives.
One very common way of forming adverbs from adjectives is by adding the letters ly to the adjective.
Give me some examples, please.
Bad, badly. Quick, quickly, etc.
Flew. What's the past of fly?
The past of fly is flew.
If you flew round the world in a straight line, would you finish in the same place as you had started?
Yes, if I flew round the world in a straight line, I'd finish in the same place as I had started.
If a bird flew into this room, what did you do?
If a bird flew into this room, I'd probably try to catch it.
Wool. Which animal do we get wool from?
We get wool from a sheep.
What can we make from wool?
We can make pullovers, hats and scarves from wool.
Possessive case of plural nouns ending in s. Apostrophe. Case. How do we form the possessive case of singular nouns, like girl, man, child, etc.?
We form the possessive case of singular nouns, like girl, man, child, etc., by adding an apostrophe and the letter s.
Give me some examples, please.
The girl's coat, the old man's hat, a child's book.
How do we form the possessive case of plural nouns that do not end in s, such as men, women, children, etc.?
We form the possessive case of plural nouns that do not end in s, such as men, women, children, etc., in the same way, by adding an apostrophe and the letter s.
Give me some examples, please.
The old men's hats, children's books, women's clothes.
How do we form the possessive case of a plural noun which already ends in s?
We form the possessive case of a plural noun which already ends in s just by adding an apostrophe but no s.
Give me some examples, please.
The girls' coats, the workers' clothes, ladies' dresses.
What do footballers' shirts have written on their backs?
Footballers' shirts have numbers written on their backs.
Kick. What am I doing?
You're kicking the table.
Coast. Certain. Can the English coast be seen from the coast of France?
Yes, on certain days, the English coast can be seen from the coast of France.
Tire. Do you ever tire of speaking?
Yes, I sometimes tire of speaking.